So you've been thinking about jumping into this whole indie authorship thing, but actually doing the whole indie authorship thing is another thing altogether. But you're here, so that must mean that this is your goal. Awesome, you're in the right place. For writers who want to make a living from self-publishing their fiction works, indie authorship can be an amazing experience. However, I absolutely recommend that anybody who is considering this path do their due diligence beforehand. Maybe you're an avid writer and you want to marry that love of writing with one of your passions. Or maybe you are a creative entrepreneur and you want to add additional income streams through writing fiction. Or maybe you just have all of these amazing stories built up in your head and you are really feeling that drive to get them down on paper, publish them, get them out to readers, and connect with others through your creative works. Whatever your unique situation is, there are a few things that you are going to want to consider when you are in those early planning stages of your indie author career that are going to help set you up for success. I'm Britt from Thriving Scribes, where I help indie authors build sustainable publishing careers. So if you're a fiction author wanting to make a living through self-publishing your fiction works, make sure you go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button that you see on your screen right now. Let's jump right into those things that you should be considering if you are thinking about getting started in indie authorship. The very first thing is, are you writing for passion or are you writing for money? Of course, you can write for both, but the thing is that every author is different, and so their plans and their needs are all going to be a little bit different as well. I've been coaching authors long enough to know and to understand that the author who is writing for fun and the author that is writing as a career choice have two very separate sets of needs. So you really want to be honest with yourself here and ask yourself these questions. Where do you see yourself in this author journey in the future? And what are you trying to accomplish with it? Now, this is a very important thing because it allows you to kind of filter what it is that you are doing in your author journey and what suggestions you are taking and what paths you are deciding to take as well. So let's just say that you are an author who is just writing for fun. You are writing for you. So your ultimate priority here is to write the best book that you can that fits your tastes. Writing a story that you love. You may not even want to really worry about market research, platform building, or making sure that your book is marketable. However, if you are an authorship for business, we call ourselves authorpreneurs around here, then you are going to want to pay attention to all of those things. The next thing that you're going to want to consider is what you're writing and who you are writing it for. Now, this may be very easy for some authors to go ahead and choose depending on why you're in this whole authorship thing to begin with. However, for others, it may take a little bit more investigating, thought, and reflection to really hone into who your audience is, who your target audience is. For instance, if you are writing a women's romantic comedy novel, then your audience is likely going to be adult women. Therefore, your marketing should reflect that. We call the person that you are writing your books for your ideal reader in Authorland. Depending on who your unique ideal reader is, can help begin to form what it is that you're writing, how you develop your branding, and even your marketing tactics more clearly so that you are able to build that community of readers who is always coming back for more. The third thing to consider here is, do you need an author platform? For most entrepreneurs, the answer to this question is going to be yes. In short, your author platform is the way that you attract, connect with, and engage your audience, which is hopefully going to be filled with your ideal readers. This can include an author website, an email list, and social media. If you want to see the bigger picture of all of the different pieces of an author platform and how they come together to work for you, I do have another video that I filmed all about author platforms that you can go and watch and check out as well. Here's the thing. If I had $1 for every time I heard an author say, I don't need any of those things, I would be filthy rich at this point. The fact is that as an author, your books are products. And when it comes to businesses, the business isn't only the products, right? Those products are a smaller piece of the entire business puzzle. They're just a splinter of that personal brand of yours. And after somebody reads your book, the last thing that you want to happen is for them to put it down and completely forget that you even exist because they have no way of connecting with you after they read that book. Plus, a strategically built author platform will even allow you to set up what's called a sales funnel that will help you eventually make more sales without having to be constantly marketing. Next, you're going to want to consider how much time you can and will invest into this whole authorship thing. The truth of the matter is that authorship is a long game. It's a journey. So whether you are writing for a hobby or a business, creating a personal brand that people are going to really enjoy and keep coming back for, that is going to take some time and effort. So you're going to want to consider in the beginning how much time you want to or how much time you can invest into building this brand of yours. Because the reality is that in the beginning, especially in the beginning, there is a pretty steep learning curve for most authors because most of us have no previous experience in starting, managing, and running a business. Once your book is written and published, there is still so much more that goes on behind the scenes. To make the most out of a book launch, you'll need to invest time in a variety of different things. You will need to be consistently marketing your books and brand through different venues. This could look like social media marketing, book promos, advertising through Amazon or Facebook, author collaborations like newsletter swaps, and more. You'll need to create and maintain an email list, which is critical in building your readership, creating your community of fan readers, and making consistent sales. A huge part of authorpreneurship is actually the preneur part, where there will be business legalities, finances, taxes, platform development, maintenance, marketing, and more that you're going to have to devote time to. You'll also need to spend some time with what I like to call your CEO hat on, where all the thinking, developing, and assessing plans happens to grow your business, reach new readers, and hit your big dreamy authorship goals. And you're going to want to be consistent with all of this. It is critical if you want to build a successful, thriving business when it comes to the publishing world. And now you can probably begin to see how some authors are making this thing their full-time job. The next thing to consider is who is going to be making up your publishing team. Just with the things I mentioned a moment ago, your head might be spinning with everything that I am bringing to the table right now. But the reality of it is that there's book development and even more that has to go into building a publishing business. So how does one author manage all of these things going on inside of the business? Well, that answer is simple. They don't. There are some things that most authors can't do as efficiently by themselves, like professional cover designing or professional book editing. Other tasks are tedious or time consuming and they can be delegated out. Things like book formatting and ad management. And others are just nice to have in order to support you as you grow and continue along your authorship journey. Some members of your author team may include virtual assistants, social media management, web developers, ads managers, publicist, book coach, critique partners, beta readers, editors, interior formatters, cover designers, ARC team members, CPA, or bookkeepers. I know, it sounds like a lot, but the truth is, many of us authors getting started end up juggling all of these tasks all by ourselves, kind of like the solopreneur act. And then we add in different team members here and there, one or two at a time, as we go, continue along our journey, begin having more revenue come into our business, and as we grow. That's how we all start. Which brings me to the next thing to consider, which is what do you need to learn? Expanding on the two previous considerations that I mentioned, if it's something that you have to do in a productive way, something that you can't outsource, then it's really important to consider where your weaknesses lie and how you may be able to build up those skills. Nobody knows everything about everything, and even one of my personal professional goals is to always be learning new things, building those skills and putting them to work. So if you have no idea how to approach book marketing, if you don't know how to build your own author website, or you just are really sucking at staying organized, keeping focused, and staying productive, then it's time to put that learning hat on and go get the help that you need so that you can begin to build those skills. There's lots of ways to do this. Go read a book, go take a course, ask your mentor, reach out to other author communities, and see what kind of information and value you can get from them. And remember, as you go through all of that, that everything is figure outable. All right, we're at the last consideration, and one that is quite important, and that is, are you prepared to be the CEO of your business? When you are an authorpreneur, especially an indie publishing author, you are the runner of your business, right? It all lands on you. There is no boss to tell you what to do. There is no manager to keep tabs on you. Everything is up to you. That means that on top of everything else, like writing and developing those books, doing those book marketing tasks, doing the publicity, it's also your job as the CEO to do these following tasks. Be able to define what your vision is and take inspired action towards that vision. Create a strategic plan of action, knowing what your long-term goals are and what those short-term goals are that are going to help you get to those long-term goals. Managing the day-to-day tasks. Long-term goals will quickly become never-ending goals if you aren't doing what needs to be done when it needs to be done. Investing in your success. When you get to a certain point, you are going to hit a glass ceiling. It's inevitable. Every entrepreneur out there hits blocks in their journey, and sometimes breaking that glass ceiling means putting the pedal to the metal and working through it. But other times that may mean investing in yourself and your growth. Maybe it means hiring a coach, joining a mastermind, attending a conference. And finally, assessing the data and making hard decisions. Sometimes things aren't working, and when that happens, it's going to be your job to figure out why and pivot from there. Other times, things are going to be going great, and it's your job to figure out why that is and how you can keep it that way, and better yet, improve those results. And there you go, guys. Those are the 7 things that new authors should consider when just getting started in their journey. And if you want a little bit of extra guidance along the way and you're wondering what are the tasks that you need to be doing right now, what are the focuses that you should be zeroing in on right now, then go and take my Authorpreneur stage quiz, which is going to let you know what stage you are in and give you a personalized action plan so that you can begin to create a strategic plan to get to that next level. You can find that over at thrivingscribes.com/quiz. Finally, if you are interested in developing your indie author business plan and you need some guidance because you have no idea what to even include, definitely go and watch the video that you see on your screen right now, because in that video, I walk you through the 3 major things that you should be including in your indie author business plan. I'll see you there.